And with Old Boys night here, the Guard of Honour, formed by so many greats of the past, they make their way down the cavalcade of champions and onto the famous turf of the Sydney Cricket Ground. They come for the last time before moving next door. And great to see so many familiar faces here tonight, including our own Brian Fletcher, of course, who's been out there gripping and grinning, cracking jokes, as you would expect. And Vic Radley, well, there'll be no jokes from Victor the Inflictor tonight. Likewise, Luke Keary. The Roosters sit in 8th position. They're there on 26 competition points with a 12-win, 9-loss record. You factor in if they win 2 of their last 3, that would probably be good enough to play finals football. Of course, the Canberra Raiders are the wild card. They've got a softish draw into the games in September. If they can win all 3 of their remaining, they are the threat to knock perhaps the Roosters or maybe the Broncos out of action. Vic Radley gets a surprise as the whistle blows. It's the Tigers to work it away from the northern end, the Allianz Stadium end of the Sydney Cricket Ground. And they begin here inside their own 20. Tamo and Musgrave in the starting front row tonight. Kelma Tuolungi playing one of his last games as a Tiger before moving to the Sea Eagles in 2023. It was quite the scoreline, wasn't it? At 4 Pines Park here in the game preceding this one on Super Saturday. Musgrave to play it here. 25 short of the halfway line. They head back to the left-hand side. Tamo will eventually play it. Second carry in this set. Madden under pressure gets the kick away. It'll go down to Joseph Swali'i, who will bring it back. A little skip and a jump. He puts his body on the line with every carry. He's been enormous.
Yeah, what a season.
5-game winning streak, Nick.
Yeah, what a season he's having. This outside backs of the Roosters matching the Penrith Panthers really in terms of how they get downfield, how they start their sets. As we see Swali'i have a carry early, he's been tremendous. What a year it's been for him. So too this man, the injection of Matt Lodge into the forward pack has been tremendous, the mid-year signing.
Really has added a lot, and they get more firepower in the middle of the field back next week when Lindsay Collins and Siosiwa Taukei'aho return. To the right-hand side they go through Walker to Desco. Comes away with Joseph Manu, who will be tackled here just inside the Tigers 10. One more play here for the home side. Walker it is. He'll kick across the face of everybody. Hutchison on the left edge, going up above them though. A nice catch made by Stafford and the Tigers will get 7 tackles from their own 20. Under pressure. Roosters' first set in attack, and you see the catch. He had a foot back in the in-goal area. Good call by the referee tonight, Ben Cummins, waving 6 again here for another set restart as the Tigers work it away from inside their 20. It's Offa Hengawi. Stopped here and tackled by Butcher as Brown comes out from dummy half, finds Musgrove, who is tackled right in the middle of the cricket pitch area, still very firm underfoot. As they go through Dewey on this right edge, Seyfarth try and poke his nose through the line. He's only 40 out from the Roosters line, and now there's a whistle.
They'd be worried about a head slam here, I think. The Tigers players complaining. It's on Garner, obviously.
Yes, my mistake. I said Seyfarth, and of course the 2 blonde players. Here's the tackle again, and then
Keary, who just shoves his head down into the ground there. I don't think there's much malice in that. I think he's just trying to.
Yeah, it wasn't a classic head slam style action, that's for sure, from Luke Keary, but by the same token,
yeah, his head certainly hit the ground. And they're going to put on report by the looks of Ben Cummins' action here, is he?
No, it's going to be
he's okay with it.
Just play on, and rightly so. Confused look on the face there of Luke Keary.
Yeah.
Thought, I think like you for a moment, that it was going to be placed on report. That isn't the case, and it's play on here for the Tigers. And they'll take it down just outside the Roosters 30. Brown from dummy half. Dewey rubbering. It'll bounce over the head there of Daniel Tupou. Boy, a very conservative kick, wasn't it, to begin from the Tigers? Not much doing there.
Really ordinary set from the Tigers, given the fact that they had 7 tackles and even a stoppage in play there with the Keary and Garner moment. Lack of direction. Just watching from above, the lack of direction from the halves and around the base of the play the ball from Manu Brown. Real concerning signs from the Tigers early as Swali'i carrying hard again early, pumping the legs. Look at this. The young man 20 metres upfield.
Still just 19 years of age and playing way above his experience in the NRL. What a superstar in the making he is. Maria Hargreaves plays it for Verrills. Comes forward here through Angus Crichton. Tried to bump away from Adam Dewey, who got some help eventually. And now Tedesco on this right-hand side. Links up with Radley, who goes straight through them. Lodge throwing dummies. He's taken down inside the 10. Allowed to play on. Still going. A chance for the Roosters through Manu. Play on, says Ben Cummins. And this is going to be Roosters points.
Yeah, and it's the injection of Tedesco around the ruck where when you thought he couldn't get better, the last month that he's put together, the superstar fullback has been stunning, along with that man Manu, who's had a tremendous season for the Tricolours. And it's Tedesco ball playing through the middle, and just watch the effort there of Radley to push, accelerate into the gap, got inside a poor tackle there, I think it was, from Musgrove. And Lodge allowed to play on, free of the tackle there of young Madden. Look at this, brilliant, just nice short ball straight through the tackle there. Yeah, it was a poor miss from Musgrove. Did a good job, Madden, and then just pushing around, allowed to play on and just spinning, twisting, getting the ball down. Manu, what a star he is, and the Roosters get early points.
You saw on the replay there, Lodge was back on his feet before there was contact with him again. So good call by Ben Cummins to allow play on. And Manu looming up in support. You said there was a bit of a sense that the Roosters might really put something on here tonight. And given what we've seen, they've had 2 chances in attack. They've made massive meters in both of them. And it began, of course, with the Swali'i run. We are going to take a look, perhaps.
They are going to look at the
Okay.
Yeah,
Your second brother to see Matt Lodge is held.
I like this to be in the hands of the referee.
It's a feel thing, isn't it? It is a feel thing. Now, he comes over the top, young Madden.
But he's still got
At
momentum
this point
here.
here, the arm carrying the ball is in contact with the ground with the Tiger defender on top of it. This is the completion of a tackle. We have a decision.
So it goes back to the play the ball for Lodge, but does...
But if he was scoring a try and rolling over like that, that wouldn't be a double movement. That would be play on and a try.
So it's held.
Well, Tedesco looks perplexed as well.
Yeah. Because he's tackled,
So
mate.
the Tigers get a
There's a defender
reprieve
on
here.
him,
Watch it
and
again
the
as
ball's on the
Madden
ground.
comes over the top. Lodge certainly not held and is able to stand up before Madden puts a hand on him once again. But the bunker intervening, overruling the on-field referee. And it will come back here for Matt Lodge to play it 10 metres out.
Play 5 for the Roosters. I still think they take a lot of confidence out of what they've been able to do. It was great work from Radley pushing on Tedesco. There's plenty of value through the middle of the Tigers. That was a poor miss from Musgrove early.
Wait there.
We're going to
Matt,
call
watch
it back
it.
here for a restart for the restart. Lodge playing the ball a bit too quickly for the referee's liking. Foregone, no score as yet. Here is Walker cutting it back to Keary on this left-hand side. He'll kick out towards Tupou up above them. Good catch there by Ken Mamalo, who will bring it back. And he'll play it 5 out from the Tigers line. So they hang on by the skin of their fingernails as they work it away here. Just watch this again. Great catch. Ken Mamalo, who leads the Tigers with 11 tries in 17 games so far in 2022. Inside there, 20. Look at the way on this left-hand side. There's Musgrove, not much doing there as far as progress. Now back through the middle, off of Hengawi. And again, the Roosters get plenty of numbers up there, and they stop the Tigers before they can really get rolling here. Comes back to Dewey, who kicks from inside the 30. Swali'i is playing deep. They link up with Tedesco. A one-time Tiger who moved to the Roosters, won a premiership immediately. Of course, played 90 games with the Tigers before coming across to the Roosters and brought up game number 200 just last week. Now Lodge. Thought he'd helped Manu score the first try of the game. Wasn't to be, as Verrills from dummy half comes to Radley. Here is Keary. Players in motion out the back. Tedesco was one of them. But it's Crichton who takes it forward in the first man option. And he's just outside the Tigers' 20. From Verrills. Comes back through Waerea-Hargreaves. Radley keeps it going. Keary, Walker. Nice momentum here. Manu doing some stepping. Taken down there by Kapoa. He's only 5 metres out from the Tigers' line. It's Keary. Earl Grubber chasing through. Verrills is there. Off for Hengawi under pressure. He's able to stay cool and take it dead. And the Roosters have earned themselves a goal line dropout.
Yeah, there was concerns earlier in the year for the fitness and the health of that man there, Luke Keary, and just where he was at with his career. But boy, oh boy, hasn't he had a great back end of the season. Tonight he started with great confidence again. Lovely end of set there, building pressure, and the experience of some of their spine members really on show tonight. Tedesco, Keary having a big impact early.
Dewey's drop out, not a deep one by any stretch. 30 on the fly as Waerea-Hargreaves it is who will bring it back here. Roosters looking for their 13th win of the season as Lodge takes it down to the hash mark at the 20. Verrills looking to his right-hand side. Keary very flat on the left-hand side, so it goes to Radley. Now to Tedesco out the back set. Restart as well. Manu taking some stopping here. Gets up to try and go again, but he's brought down a metre out from Swalei. Here's Tedesco. Radley ducking out of the way extravagantly. Waerea-Hargreaves will play it. Verrills back to the short side. Tedesco goes over the top. Swalei tries to bump away and does so from Naden. Brings it back to the middle where he's stopped by Brown and also Dane Laurie. And he's got a metre to play it here from the goal line. Verrills, Manu back against the grain. Nothing doing again. They like their chances against that Tigers left edge. No success so far. 4 plays gone. Now they're deep on this left-hand side. Keary, Walker goes over the top. Tupou up against Dewey. Fires it wildly back in field. Cleaned up by Tedesco. Stays alive. Tries to get away from Laurie. Gives it to Crichton. He'll stand in tackles. Looking for an offload. Radley. They're back out of the right edge again. Here is Swalei. From sideline to sideline they've gone. And they're back where they began. I'll play it there. Manu at dummy half. Keary to Walker. They just keep pumping that left edge of the Tigers defensive line. Seyfarth is there. He cleans up. It's another goal line dropout.
Yeah, no surprise. They're heading to that right-hand side, and it's Manu who's their danger man. He's their X factor. Robinson loving what he's seeing early, and you're right. Every time they can open up that left-hand side of the Tigers, they're just going back there at will. They are just going back there looking for Manu, looking for Swalei. They're just loving what they're doing down that right-hand side of the field. They have been the best right edge attack all season. And the Tigers under pressure here. All the possession, all the momentum with the Roosters.
That's Waerea-Hargreaves who brings it back here to play it just inside the 30. Roosters, 5 sets from 5 opportunities so far. The Tigers are 3 from 3. Oh, coming up, Dewey puts on a big hit on Matt Lodge, the 5'8", coming out to make a statement. Radley steps off the right foot. Taken down there by Tamo. Dewey again finding himself midfield. Lodge looks to Keary. Here's a chance for Hutchison. Runs at Toa, who makes a tackle. And a good one as well, one-on-one. Under some pressure there. Back through the hands of Walker. Then Lodge for Keary, taking them on. Chopped down inside the 10. One more for the Roosters. Can't find a way to crack them at the moment. Radley goes over the top, trying to replicate what he did last week. The tip on there from Manu. The Swalei has been called forward.
Yeah, it looked good. It looked really good. Unfortunately, it just floated forward. Swalei going close. And Joey Manu just showing off all his tricks. Look at this. It was a pretty average pass, to be honest, over the top from Radley. Audacious. And the tap on. Well, it looked brilliant from Manu, but it went forward. And the Tigers, to their credit, are holding on. It's been a mountain of possession against them early.
The Tigers to work it away. What a job they have done. Keep their line intact as we go downstairs to Jake Duke.
Yeah, good evening, gentlemen. A pleasant night down here on the sideline at the SCG as the Roosters farewell their makeshift home ground, a place, the SCG, where they've won 70% of their games over the past 4 seasons. As the Tigers come up with a bit of an error here, the Roosters will get the ball back, but there is about 13,000 in the house, not much wind around, not much dew on the surface, so some good conditions for football. A bit of a sombre Brett Kimmorley there looking on, guys.
You know, they're about to be under huge pressure here once again, just on 11 gone, and it's going to be the Roosters just outside the 20, coming at them once more with Madden. Just a little,
only a little
very
bobble, wasn't
little
it?
bobble. The ball leaving the hand there as he placed it on the ground.
I think the Roosters have just been a little sideways. There's obviously a lot of focus to go around the Tigers, but I think that they can straighten their attack a little just to give themselves some more room on the edge later on in the game.
Verrills backing in at lock forward, finding Tedesco. Almost got an arm free there to link up with Swali'i. Set restart, the traditional one now on the scrum. Happens pretty much in every game and every scrum that's packed. And the Roosters still trying to find a way to the try line here at the SCG. Waerea Hargreaves for Verrills, Walker, Radley back on the inside. Taken through the forwards for a couple of plays while they get themselves set. They're deep on this left-hand side. They go back to the right, though. Walker grubbers. Nat Butcher pushing through. He gets a perfect bounce, and it's finally through the boot. But they find a way through the Tigers' line, and the Roosters are on the board at last.
Yeah, he's making a habit of this, Nat Butcher. It's a beautiful kick. Sammy Walker, what a great touch. And I loved what I saw in that set from the Roosters. A lot more direct, tying up their middle forwards, the Tigers. And then on play 3, it's Walker deep into the line, just digs it in off the inside of his right boot. Sits up perfectly. Verrills out of dummy half. Walker bringing the line forward. Oh, that's a beautiful touch, Sam Walker. Bounce perfect, and Butcher making a habit of scoring, finding a real home on it out on that right edge, and the Roosters finally get their first points of the night after being denied earlier.
We saw that combination of Mitch Moses and Dylan Brown earlier today, putting on a score against the Bulldogs with plays like that. And this man, Sam Walker, from pretty much right in front here to make this 6 points to nil. Not quite 13 minutes gone. And the third of 3 here on Super Saturday live on Fox League. And no mistake on the young halfback as we go downstairs once again to Jake.
Yeah, Sam Walker, over the first 8 rounds of the competition, he only had 3 try assists to his name. In the 13 games since, he's piled on 10 try assists, and the majority of those have come after he switched back to that number 7 role, swapping with Luke Keary, and that came in round 16. So it's shown not only the time it's taken him to get into his second year in first grade, but also to adapt playing alongside Luke Keary in the halves, and he is going to be a big factor for the Roosters coming into the final series if they are there. But just a double blow for the Tigers with that Roosters try, guys. Luke Garner has failed his HIA. He will not be back for the rest of this game.
Yeah, it's disappointing for the Tigers. Just keep an eye on that. Dane Laurie, the fullback for the Tigers, is putting himself in the defensive line a lot, and there's a lot of space to kick him behind. I think they'll keep going there, the Roosters.
The restart. Down to Swali'i. Shows it to Waerea Hargreaves. Wants to take a carry himself and try and use his speed to beat the chase line back through the middle. They did a nice job in wrapping him up. So the Roosters here still just 15 out from their own line, and 2 plays gone. Verrills finds Lodge. Get there on a strong tackle from Manu Brown up there with Zane Musgrove. Here's Radley. Goes to Crichton. Adam Dewey getting through a lot of defensive work so far in this game. And that big shot on Matt Lodge. And the try was scored. Now Waerea Hargreaves brings it back towards the halfway line. Back-to-back carries. The front rowers have got them out of trouble. It's Walker with the clearing kick. Doesn't possess a massive boot. Goes down to Laurie, who'll link up here with Naden. Just extended his time to stay a Tiger until the end of 2025. Athletic left winger. And he'll play it here for Dewey. Marlon coming in for a carry. Stepping off the right foot. Not much happening, though, as he's wrapped up by Radley. Nasu Kupawa. left arm free there in the tackle of Manu, but didn't want to chance his luck. It was Laurie. Finds off of Hengawi. Maria Hargreaves was up there, bringing Verrills and Radley with him. Almost back at the 40, though, with 4 plays gone in this set. Slow played the ball. The Tigers were hoping for a penalty there from Ben Cummins. Nothing doing. And Tamo will play it. Back at the 50. They'll get a penalty instead with Matt Lodge caught up in the play the ball here. They eventually got that whistle they were hoping to hear, and will give them a chance really for their first crack at the Roosters at this southern end of the SCG.
Yeah, he's milked that beautifully, James Tamo, and fair enough. Matt Lodge laying in the ruck, play 5. Painful penalty there for the Roosters, and a chance now for the Tigers. Full set inside the Roosters half. Can they hit back?
It's Musgrove who gets things going. He'll play it 30 out from the Roosters line through Madden. Tamo, ball playing. And the back pointing as well. He wants a carry, and they oblige him. Takes it inside the 20, where he's met by try scorer Butcher, along with Crichton and Lodge. Off of Hengawi. He goes to Madden. Back on the inside there for Dewey, who wants to switch things up. Laurie on that left-hand side to a Lungy was very flat. So was Kapoa, so they'll hang on to it there. The fullback playing it. Still inside the red zone. Off of Hengawi. Punching it down for a gain of about 5. One more here for the Tigers. Who gets the kick? What's the last play option? Boy, off Hengawi very slowly back to his feet. Dewey Grubbers. It goes straight to Daniel Tupou, though, who saw some open space. Dewey coming across. Makes the covering tackle off the back of his own kick. Lucky he was there because Tupou was winding up and had visions of going all the way.
Yeah, really well read there. The experience of Daniel Tupou all over the kick there from Dewey. It looked strong off the boot, but it sat up right on its point, and he did a great job, Tupou. Just watching the Roosters' defensive line move from high here at the SCG as Tedesco looks for some metres in behind the ruck. Boy, their line's moving quickly over the last month. They've really got their defensive stuff in order. And good signs from the Roosters at the right time of year.
Walker with a spiralling kick will swing away from Laurie. Goes down to Emma Marvel, who'll bring it back here and play it eventually. 15 short of the halfway line. Tigers have won just 1 of their last 10. 4 from 21 overall this season coming into tonight's game. Departed company, of course, with Michael Maguire and Dr. Morley watching on from on high again tonight, the interim coach before Tim Sheens, Benji Marshall, Robbie Farah take over in 2023. The old firm being called upon. Here just outside the 30. There's Brown from dummy half. We'll find off of Hengawi. Here's Madden. Oh, ball there to put Laurie under pressure. Did well against Hutchison. Mamalo, though, nowhere to go. Comes back to Madden. Oh, almost going behind Tamo. Passed the ball after running behind Tamo and gets lucky there not to be penalised for an obstruction. We've got one more play here. Set that hasn't offered a lot, it has to be said. Madden again. Well, second very conservative kick on this near side into touch, and the Roosters will begin inside their own 20.
Yeah, Victor Radley here, I think, is going to be put on report for a third man in tackle off of Hengawi.
Victor, you're on report. Contact on Joe. Third man in. On report.
So we saw off Hengawi very slowly back to his feet. Well, that was the action there. He was low and around the knee, or even lower than the knee. So Victor Radley, who's had plenty of time off in recent seasons for a variety of suspensions, I don't know that he'd have a whole lot to worry about there. There has been renewed emphasis on tackles around the legs, and of course the hip drop furor of a few weeks ago.
If you're sitting at home and wondering why the West Tigers are kicking into touch on the last plays and it looks conservative, what they're trying to do is be able to get the ball out and get their defensive line set so that James Tedesco and these outside backs with footwork don't have the ability to attack a broken line. That's the thought plan. That's all it can be, I think, from the Tigers.
Slow things down, use up some time on the clock as well. Make the Roosters, as you say, work from a set play situation.
Will just unsettle their rhythm. The Roosters love, particularly their outside backs, love that broken play. Find chinks in defensive lines, and at the moment they're just trying to slow it down, the Tigers, any which way they can to break the rhythm of the Roosters' attack.
If you are going to keep ignoring putting up an attacking kick or rolling one in behind to try and get a goal line dropout force, you are going to limit how many chances you get inside the red zone. So it's a double-edged sword. We'll see if the Tigers persist with that tactic. Midway through this first half, the Roosters 6-0. Trying to Nat Butcher off a beautiful grubber from Sam Walker. This kick, too much angle on it. From inside the 40 it was. Jock Madden gets a pep talk there from Manu Brown. And it puts them under pressure. The Roosters will begin here 35 metres out. And Egan Butcher about to join Nat Butcher on the field.
Yeah, really like this inclusion. He brings great leg speed. It's been a tremendous start again from Matt Lodge. He's found a home here, and his partnership with Hargreaves early on's really building. But Butcher, Egan now onto the field, and he brings a lot of unpredictability to this middle third attack from the Roosters. Here he is now.
They go inside the red zone. And Verrills waits at dummy half. Radley taking them on himself. Another restart here for the Roosters. So a renewed set, 10 metres out, looking for try number 2. Keary on that right edge. Tedesco tips it on. Swaliti beat the tackle there of Kapoa coming across. Madden in cover did well and got some help from Dane Laurie. Manu fires it to Tedesco. Saw a little space there. Tamo came up quickly, offered him the chance to go through it, but they close the door on him. Now Egan Butcher. A good tackle by Ofa Hengawi underneath. Verrill spinning, trying to catch them out. He's only a half a metre short. They've got one left here. Slow play the ball. Tigers are all over Verrills. Radley. He finds Angus Crichton. He just spins through a tackle and scores a very easy try after all that work defensively. The Tigers, there's a pretty soft effort on their own line with Adam Dewey there to make the tackle, but Crichton just catching and spinning in the one motion.
It was only a couple of years ago, wasn't it, that it was Victor Radley that used to replace Jake Friend at dummy half, showing his old crafty skills there at dummy half. Just a little bit of deception, leaning to the right-hand side, coming back to Crichton, who's put a target on Dewey in the opening 22 minutes of this game. Whether it's been in yardage or down here, attacking their line, the Tigers, he's put a radar on Dewey, and that time just too big, too strong, twisting, spinning, slamming the ball down, and you just cannot give this Roosters side the amount of possession that the West Tigers are giving them at the moment. It came on the back of a kick out on the full from Jock Madden, and instantly the Roosters were into an attacking set, and just too strong there. Big Angus Crichton's had a good start, hasn't he, Was?
That he has, and some attention, more concern, having already lost Luke Garner through an HIA concussion in the 3rd minute of the game. Cameron Marlaw down here getting some treatment on a quadricep by the looks of things. Sam Walker lining up the kick.
Slowly climbing up that point scoring ladder, isn't he, Sam Walker?
Might be a job to catch Valentine Holmes. Form the Cowboys are in the back end of the season. They're destined for a home final as Walker pilots it between the uprights. 12 points to nil. And disappointing try by Angus Crichton for those West Tigers fans watching on. Slow play the ball there, Jake Duke. Took forever to get back to their feet to play at the Roosters, and even so, Crichton still able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Angus Crichton, that's his 3rd try of the season, and he's revealed in the last week or so that he's set to re-sign with the club for a further 2 years, which is great news for him and the club. There was talk about salary cap pressure, whether it was going to happen or not. There was talk about interest from the Tigers, but Crichton says he never really considered leaving and can't see himself playing for any other club, so a big re-signing for the Roosters.
And they've had pretty much a handshake agreement for some time, but under the proviso, of course, they could still find a way to make all that work as far as the salary cap is concerned. Sam Verrills recently signing with the Gold Coast Titans for 2023 and beyond certainly helps in that regard. So that's good to see that Angus Crichton, who, as Trent Robinson said during the week, has become just a real club man, loves coming in, loves the red, white and blue and everything about the Roosters, and has really grown into his role as one of the senior players at the Roosters. Radley taking it to the halfway line, back on the attack, looking for try number 3 here. Numbers down the short side. Keary is there, taken down eventually here. Around near the sideline, though, on the last play from Crichton. Slow play the ball there as Keary double pumped it. Walker puts it in the air. Laurie going backwards. Will take it a metre out from the line and then put the speed on, trying to beat Hutchison and also Wairia Hargreaves.
There's some concerns here for the Roosters. Sam Verrills in back play, still holding his wrist with the trainer or rib area. Yeah, he's really uncomfortable at the moment, the young dummy half. There's a wild pass out of dummy half from Laurie.
Comes back to Alex Seyfarth, who's out there for Luke Gunn. We'll keep our eye on that man, Verrills, who moving a little more freely now. Stafford Todd coming in for a carry and got belted for his trouble. And the likely duo, Radley and Wairia Hargreaves. 15 short of the halfway line. Last play here, Dewey with the kick. Was there a touch there by a Rooster? It won't matter because it goes straight to Walker, who puts them on the attack immediately. They begin at the Tigers 40. Not much happening in many ways for the Tigers when they've got the ball in their hands.
Yeah, the kicking game has been putrid to start the game. It's been awful.
Their defence trying a bit of starch right here. Trailing 12 points to 0. Just under 15 minutes remaining before the break. Radley goes to the line. Good tackle there. Tuolungi was around the legs, chopping down Egan Butcher. Now Radley. Here comes to Keary, straightens Crichton into a huge hole. He grabs number 2 in the space of a couple of minutes. The Roosters have their 3rd try, and that was very, very easy. The way they just motored through the middle, and then Keary weaving in traffic found a storming Angus Crichton.
Yeah, 2 tries in 3 minutes, and it comes on the back of a really poor kick from Adam Dewey. And just watching Keary there, where I spoke about the form that he's really started to find over the last couple of months and the tempo in which he plays with and how he straightens his shoulders north-south instead of going towards the sideline. Just watch here as he receives the ball, he straightens, and that puts Dewey under pressure, and it opens the space for Crichton to just waltz through some feeble defence from the Tigers. And that's all too easy for Angus Crichton. He's world class out on the edge. You just can't give him that much room. He's too big and he's too athletic, and Keary carving them.
5th career double for Angus Crichton as they make it 16 points to 0. And you had some colourful descriptions of their kicking game so far, Mick, the Tigers, and well, there it is off the back of that, under pressure immediately, and never really got a chance to set their line against Luke Keary, and Crichton just pushing up in support. It was pretty easy once again.
Yeah, their last 2 sets they've gone the kick out on the full from young Madden as Walker drives another one straight through the sticks and extends the lead to 18. And then the next set of 6 that they get, I think it's Dewey, that just a complete miss kick. These are the 2 tries in 3 minutes. Great work from Radley getting him, big Crichton isolated there with Dewey. And then just watch this from Keary. Straightens beautifully, accelerates, puts Dewey under pressure again, and this left edge of the Roosters running right in the last couple of minutes.
Been some big score lines already on Super Saturday. In fact, going back to last night, a bit of a big scoreline round in round 23. Just a couple of weeks now from the finals as we are, and the Roosters maybe trying to keep that theme going here tonight against the Tigers. Already lead 18 points to 0. Sitting in 8th place on the ladder, and knowing that behind them, the Canberra Raiders, with a softish draw in the run into the big games in September. If they win all 3, will put huge pressure on both the Roosters and now also the Broncos, who are slumping at the wrong end of the season. Swaliki playing it there. To this right-hand side they go to Manu, who will try and play it quickly. Does so, and as a result, Verrills jumping out from dummy half. They're getting legs tackles, quick play the balls as well, and here they go again. Manu doubling up. And it's a 1-2 punch between he and Verrills as Verrills goes to dummy half. Walker with the kick. Come down here for Laurie, pushing through. Keary was there. Small man on small man. Keary looking to put a big bump there on the Tigers fullback, unable to lock him up, and the Tigers begin again inside their 20.
Yeah, you love what you see from the Roosters. I said early in the game they got gifted a wealth of possession and they tried to look for some cheap points just going around the West Tigers left-hand side, where the Roosters have been so good down there. Right, well, they've straightened their attack, and you can see there they're kicking the front door in as we see another error now from the Tigers, and it's Walker who's picked up the loose ball, and some real concerns here for the Tigers was.
And the Roosters begin at the Tigers 20.
Watson into the action now for the Roosters.
Tedesco for Hutchison. Towards Stafford there. He'll play it just outside the 10. Tedesco from dummy half. A stuttering step went down the short side. Here is Watson. With his speed and stepping, he'll scare the life out of these tired middle third Tigers. From Verrills. Comes across to Keary. Here is Nat Butcher. It's all about the back rowers here tonight. And they're sending out the SCG in style. Nat Butcher has a double. Whatever Angus Crichton can do, he can do also. It's 22 points to 0.
Yeah, he's turning on a clinic here. Luke Keary, lovely wide pass from Verrills, just fires it out, and Keary gets straight to the edge, and his lines have been timed with perfection. Time with perfection, Nat Butcher, over the last couple of weeks, but it's the class of Keary shining here at the SCG. The veteran, the genius ball player in Luke Keary turning on an absolute clinic on Old Boys Day, and Nat Butcher and Angus Crichton running right on the edges. Whether it's left, whether it's right, doesn't matter. But Keary with his hands all over everything. He's starring tonight.
It's about to be 24 points to 0. We've had 30 minutes of action. And it's the third double this season for Nat Butcher. To emphasise your point, just his improved line running and what he's doing, of course, with no Satili Tupanua out for the season with that ACL injury. They've been whacked again with injuries in 2022, but they are, as we said, getting a couple of handy forwards back next week in the shape of Lindsay Collins and also Siwa Taukeaho.
Yeah, what a luxury to welcome back two world-class forwards. When we see this replay as Walker just balks and second guesses himself, decides to come and fix up his steps before he kicks. The width in which Verrills gets the ball out on a platter for Keary just allows him to attack an edge. It was great work where it started from Verrills.
Walker getting plenty of practice from right in front tonight. He'll enjoy that. 24 points to 0 it is. 9.5 out from the break, and Angus Crichton scored a double in the space of 4 minutes. Nat Butcher got the scoring going back in the 13th minute when he a lovely bounce off a Walker grubber, and now this time Keary, nice, who's dealing, isn't he?
Oh,
just
yeah.
Enjoying this against a retreating defensive line, just having his way with the Tigers.
That looks a lot easier than what it actually is. To run that line and time it perfectly takes some courage, because there's a chance you can get absolutely jammed, as we see the Roosters now up into 6th position, climbing over the top of the Broncos in South Sydney on the live ladder.
What a fascinating run to the finals it is for those teams in the bottom half of the top 8 in particular. The Roosters come up with a win here tonight, and they're well on track, quite obviously. They've made a mistake, though, on play 1 on the restart, and the Tigers will get perhaps their best chance of the game to this point. Comes from Madden. Nuabola is out there now. He'll play it in front of the uprights, 10 metres out. Brown goes from dummy half, finds Laurie, Dewey. Nothing happening. Another set restart. It's Siren City here at the SCG tonight. Is that 2 in the 1 play?
Yeah, I think.
Is that a first?
Yeah.
Might well be. Seyfarth, long ball for Laurie. Comes back to Offahengawi, not the game he was hoping for in game number 150. Plays it quickly enough, though. Madden at the line. Laurie's pass was a touch there by Manu. I don't think it was. Brett Kimmorley might want to throw that hoodie on over the top of his eyes and just close them for the next 48 minutes of game time, perhaps.
Yeah, just great read there from Joey Manu up in the face, and we marvel at his attacking skill and the flair that he provides for us week after week, but his defensive decisions really are world class, and that was great defence, great edge defence there from Joey Manu.
More injury concerns for the Tigers, guys. Ken Mamalo has just come off the field with a groin strain. He is hobbling up the tunnel to the Tigers dressing rooms. Thomas Freeman is on the field.
Thank you for that, Jake. So it was a groin and not a quad for Ken Mamalo. So they're down a winger, and now there he is, Ken Mamalo, walking back to the dressing rooms, and that looks like it might be game over. Here's Crichton again, pouring through. Tedesco's away against his old club. He scores the Roosters 5th in the first half and makes it 28 points to 0. We are at the SCG, and this might be a cricket score.
Absolutely, 28-0, and the skipper said, hey, give me a little bit of the action. Down the short side again, who is it? Yep, it's Luke Keary. Absolutely torturing this right edge of the Tigers. And again, it's Angus Crichton running freely straight through the Tigers' defence and looming on the inside, one of the great support players in the game, James Tedesco, in a rich vein of form heading towards September, and the Roosters skipper picks up a nice try as it comes towards the back end of the first half, and the Roosters running right. I had a feeling watching the warm-up and watching the mood that this Sydney Roosters side were in, the confidence in which they were moving the ball in the warm-up, and then we had vision of the Tigers deep in the burrows warming up inside the SCG, and they looked flat. They look nervous, and they're playing that way. They are playing. They come out with a very conservative mindset, and they're getting an absolute lesson here off one of the sides that have got an enormous amount of momentum behind them. Talk about a wet sail heading towards the finals. They are a side that have some of the top teams looking over their shoulders.
Walker from beside the uprights makes it 30 points to 0. We've had 34 minutes of action. They're just about keeping pace with the clock, Jake.
Yeah, they are on fire, the Roosters, to start this game. Luke Keary has been on fire, 3 tries, helping in hands in tries now, and he finds James Tedesco, who hasn't actually scored a try for 3 weeks, but we know what a threat he is. He always backs up through the middle, gets their next try, and don't forget, at halftime we will have a full wrap-up of the highlights of this match, and then all the scores and news from today with the crew, Vonnie, Cooper and Corey. Catch up on everything that's happened over a big Super Saturday.
Gee, there's been some points, Warren, this weekend.
There has
just when you thought the blowouts were done and dusted.
We're back to blowout city again in round 23. I mean, crazy last night. Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
You know, Broncos haven't been at their best in the last month or so, but you see Melbourne put on 60 points against a team currently situated in the top 8. That was stunning. In a couple of ways, good news for the Melbourne Storm, quite obviously, as they rev up. And here are the Roosters following suit. And again, as they did on the previous get-out set from a try scored, Egan Butcher puts it down here, and the Tigers will get a chance once more from 10 metres out. The ball coming through there. Are they challenging this?
Okay, that's the first tackle.
That wouldn't look to be a good move.
Challenging the lost ball.
No, it looked like it just squeezed out, didn't it? It looked like his arm got tangled up with, is it Offa-Hengawi? Yep. Offa-Hengawi's right hand's in there around the ball.
At the moment, Joe Offa-Hengawi is making a tackle. His hand is not near the ball, nor is it making a strip in action. It's a loose carry from the Roosters.
Yeah,
challenge is unsuccessful.
That's a good call.
No more challenges, James.
May not be of much consequence for the Roosters tonight, but curious all the same that they would challenge that.
Well, it's good practice for the Roosters. They'll want to get their goal line defence in order for what's coming in a number of weeks, particularly the big game down in Melbourne next week, and a chance here with 5 minutes remaining before half-time to test themselves again defensively on their own line.
Let's see what the Tigers can offer them. Boy, they were off before acceptance is there. Luke Keary was almost up in line with the scrum itself when the ball finally emerged on the back row. It is crazy that we see that, and every time a scrum is set. Tigers pushing their way here in towards the in-goal area. Out there, Austin Diaz getting a chance in the first half. Tom Freeban again on the bench tonight for Brett Kamali, as Bolett will be wrapped up here by Butcher and also Radley. Brown, inside ball for Offa Hengawi. They're just feeding in these Roosters defenders at the moment, as the Tigers don't offer a lot around the uprights. Madden goes deep. Dewey is there, first man option. Freeban on this right-hand side will take it inside the 10. Brown looking for an option. The arms extended, saying who wants it. Eventually they come out here to Tuolangi. Rare chance to run a line there, but well handled once again. It's Madden grubbering off the legs of the Roosters. They've trapped it, they have scrapped it, and they've come up with possession.
Yeah, and that's another win for them. That's the test that they put themselves under and had to come up with the answers. And again, the Roosters' defensive line working hard, solving the problems together, and now they work it out from their own end. It's been a faultless first half from the Roosters.
They'll take it away on this right-hand side. Manu in the contest there with Asu Kapoa trying to strip it one-on-one. Off the ground on the edge of the cricket square. Here's Tedesco running a long way. Ran the best part of 20 metres there before a Tiger made contact with him. That's alarming in itself. Walker, his kick. Spiralling job down to Dane Laurie, who will bring it back and play it just outside the Tigers' 20. I'll get going here. Naden. Here's a shift from Naden to To'a. Try and get his speed up against Hutchison, but Hutchison stays with him and makes the tackle. Of course, Paul Momirovski out of this game, and Hutchison out there at left centre. Now a switch back towards the middle. DS will take it towards the halfway line. Brown, 2 plays remaining in this set. Goes to Madden, to Alangi again. Nat Butcher was up around the shoulders, but no more, said Ben Cummins. The Tigers have one last play. Goes back for Dewey. Put it high in the air. Swali'i coming forward, plays it off of Boots, and then in a contest for the ball, comes up with it. Madden overran it, and somehow Swali'i looked like he was going to give away 6 more tackles to the Tigers. Instead gained 6 for the Roosters, and here they are spreading it. Chance or Hutchison knocks it on. They got keen there on a counter-attack out to this left-hand side, but the pass was just behind Hutchison.
He just needed to hang on to it there, didn't he? It was nice movement. Look at the fend there on Dewey. He's terrorising him in the opening 40 minutes. Angus Crichton just needed to hold the footy. Find himself a quick play of the ball, and off they would have been, the Roosters, but a little impatient there from the Chooks, and that was great work from Swali'i, wasn't it? Just to trap it with his foot, and then just simply more desperation to win the ball.
Kid can do it all. Incredibly talented teenager. There's the Tigers from the 30 to Kapoa. Manu there getting up quickly to stop him. And they have the last chance in attack here in this first half, although change of possession, given the form the Roosters are in, wouldn't rule anything out. Madden comes out here to Dewey. Laurie is there, tries to keep it going, but they'll be taken down just outside the 10, where Seyfarth will play it. Goes back Dewey. Here's Brown in the middle of the field. Finds Madden. Pass goes to ground. Kapoa was on the outside there of Manu, then beats him. Touch there from Connor Watson, which was enough to take him to ground. Here's Madden taking them on back through the play the ball area. Verrill's a clean miss. Egan Butcher was there. Now a kick by Brown. Bolett pushing through. Radley falls on it. It'll be a goal line dropout, and the Tigers will finish with the ball in their hands in here in this first half.
Yeah, he's been awesome, Victor Radley. Just great desperation there. From the outset tonight through the warm-up, he was challenging his teammates. Before they ran out onto the field, he was the man in the huddle, demanding and dictating in amongst the huddle. And he's led with his actions. His ball playing's been superb, but it's been his defensive work, his leg speed through the middle. Short dropout was.
Here is Tupou up above everybody, and here is the counter-attack. Radley showing it. Just like that, they're within 10 of the halfway line, and watch them go. They won't die wondering here. Keary down the short side, cut out ball. Crichton kept it in play somehow, but being marshalled over the sideline eventually was Sam Walker. They were always going to have a crack, and what about Tupou flying through the air, beating Stafford Tyre point blank on the short dropout.
Yeah, that's something they've done very well too. You could see the support. Radley, Watson just flowing straight through. That moment that Tupou caught the ball and chancing their arm on half-time. Why wouldn't you?
A rare 30 points in the first half from the Roosters here. At the break, they've scored 5 converted tries. 30 to donut at half-time in the Swan Song at the Sydney Cricket Ground. The Rabbitohs aren't they're not guaranteed a spot in the finals. Neither is this team, but the way they're playing,
they'll be there.
They're on track. They're going to play the Storm next week, and then the Rabbitohs, of course, and the blockbuster opening to the brand new Allianz Stadium right next door to the SCG. We'll see if they can go on with the job here. This man, as I said, just laying it on a platter for the big running back row.
Yeah, he's been tremendous. He's straightened their attack and he's turned on an absolute clinic in the opening 40 minutes. 2 try assists, 3 line break assists. He's been brilliant. He has been absolute vintage tonight, Luke Keary, and you get the feeling that for how long they leave him out there, I'm not sure, but while ever he's there, this scoreline could climb as we see their run home. What a belter it is in the next week's a beauty against the Melbourne Storm. They're always crackers. There's a great rivalry there, but boy, there's none bigger than the next one. The one at Allianz was.
What an occasion that will be. Full house. Local derby. Roosters and Rabbitohs. That's in a couple of weeks' time. Right now here, though, second half underway. And with 40 minutes remaining, we'll wait and see if the Roosters keep the pedal to the metal, or do they just ease off a little bit and knock it back a couple of gears and just coast to the line here. Trent Robinson would like to see the points keep coming. Radley hit there, and a solid shot by Alex Seyfarth, who was up out of the line pretty quickly there. He's slowly back to his feet as well, Radley. Based on report for a tackle in the first half. Low effort on Joe Ofahengaue. Low on the body, that is, of course, as Crichton runs a long way. Already 2 tries in his back pocket tonight. He'll play at 40 out. Comes back here for Walker. Goes to the air. Laurie coming forward. Manu is there leaping for it. Giving away some height there in that contest, but Dane Laurie makes a good catch up against Joseph Manu.
Yeah, he's brilliant in the air, Joey Manu. That was a real pressure take there from Dane Laurie. Are you surprised, Warren? It's a number of times we've seen tonight. We saw Angus Crichton that time just roll 20 metres down the short side. They have been so conservative down short sides tonight, the Tigers. They are just gifting the Roosters easy metres. That's a forward pass from Brown out of dummy half, allowed to play on. Radley's just a little worse for wear, isn't he?
He was off the back of that contact with Seyfarth, no question about that. We'll wait and see with the medical staff. Have another look at that, of course, at ground level here at the SCG, all via the independent doctor in the bunker. Swaliti working there to come up with the catch. Oh, and that gets clothesline for his trouble. It was Austin Dias reaching out. And he bounced back to his feet. Swaliti, watch it again as he puts the foot down himself. Oh, it was a double tag team effort between Dias and also Ofahengaue.
Yep. Certainly high. And Swaliti, for good news, back to his feet, which is great news.
Here come the Roosters to take it up towards the halfway line. We go downstairs to Jake Duke.
Yeah, ruthless was the word Trent Robinson used at half-time, guys. He wants them to continue the momentum in the attack, and exactly what Angus Crichton said coming off the field, just tighten up the defence as well. Meanwhile, for Brett Kimmorley, he wasn't happy with his side just dropping their heads after they conceded a couple of tries. He just wants more effort and pride in their performance in this second half, and Ken Mamala, with that groin strain, is gone for the game.
I thought that might be the case, given the way he was somberly walking back to the Tigers dressing room. Down the short side, here's Keary again, the conductor tonight, bringing Hutchison onto it. They stop him about 4 out from the Tigers line. Verrills, long ball, Keary showing it, takes them on himself, beat the front line there, went straight past Bolle. Now it's Verrills, goes to Tedesco. He tries to do what Keary did a moment ago. But one more play here, inside the 10. I'll come back to the left-hand side. On ball from Radley, Hutchison. His pass was a touch there by a Tiger.
6 to go.
It was. 6 again is the call, and 2 post Draytons as he got back there to round on a big arc and come back at them. So a new set here. The pass was touched by a Tiger. Doing some dancing. Watson beats everybody. Off the right foot, he found some space back through the middle. The Tigers crack immediately here in this second half. Try number 6 for the Roosters. In a moment, it will be 36 points to 0.
Yeah, Brett Kamali, you just heard from Jake Duke, wanted a little bit of pride in the defensive line of the West Tigers, and it's Connor Watson who just dances his way through the middle third of the Tigers. Oh boy, it's been soft at times tonight, hasn't it, from the Tigers? Look at him just bang off that right foot. Straightened, got the palm out. No, we came here tonight, Warren, with the Tigers, the worst middle third defence in the competition. And they've just leaked like a sieve. Brilliant work there from Watson. He brings a lot of energy off the interchange bench, and in the early stages here, he's just waltzed on through the middle of the Tigers.
The Tigers' cause wasn't helped. They're only defending with 11 men in the front line there. On the replay, you saw both Fanua Bolle and also Dane Laurie caught some distance behind the line, so they were short-staffed immediately, and the front rower left on the ground on a previous collision earlier in the set, and it was pretty easy for Watson to come back through the middle off that right foot and then just beat everybody else, including those 2 players who were stuck behind the line, Laurie and Bolle. A pretty casual stroll to the stripe. Walker from beside the uprights makes it 36 points 0. I guess the answer to the question, are they going to keep the pedal to the metal? It's a yes, Jake Duke.
Yeah, absolutely. Ruthless was the word, and that is exactly what Connor Watson shows just there. That is his 3rd try of the season, and his running game has been on fire the last couple of games. Last 5 games, in fact, he's averaged 88 run metres and busted 17 tackles, showing off his footwork there as the Roosters edge further in front. And we've got a big Sunday ticket tomorrow, guys, but then on Monday, the biggest show of 2022 has arrived. House of Dragon begins at 11 a.m. on Foxtel Showcase. Watch it on 4K, in 4K Ultra HD, only on Foxtel. A great follow-up to Game of Thrones.
Thank you for that, Jake. I'm headed to the South House of Dragon tomorrow, Mick, down there to Wollongong to see the Dragons take on the Gold Coast Titans. We'll see that one as part of the Sunday ticket. 2 p.m. kickoff down there, of course. Pre-game show beforehand. NRLW back in action this weekend as well. Roosters looking for a double today after they were successful in the NRLW against the Parramatta Eels. Isabel Kelly was dynamic for the Roosters in that win. Talking of good athletes, she's one of the best. Great balance runner, terrific fend, and big part of that win. Here is a chance for Egan Butcher to keep the points rolling for the Roosters. They're back within 25 here of the Tigers line. And the set after points. Last play, Walker puts it up. Tedesco and Manu both there. Laurie came forward. In fact, it was going to be one of the forwards in front of him who makes the catch. It's Austin Diaz who came up with possession for West.
He did well, Diaz. Had his back turned to the ball, but had Laurie coming in to take it, but did a really good job, Diaz. And the Tigers hold on. A really nice work out on that right-hand side again from the Roosters. That time it was Egan Butcher punching into a hole. They've looked tremendous tonight, the back rowers of the Roosters.
See if Oliver Gildart gets a chance off the bench tonight for the Roosters. In jumper 20 he was named, but as far as the bench is concerned, he's there. Fletcher Baker is their 18th man tonight, of course, the West Tiger. Mid-season switch on a loan for the Roosters, who've had all sorts of issues with outside backs and injuries again in 2022. Tupou bringing it back. Boy, the chase from the Tigers. Well, there was no chase.
Well, they come forward and then they just retreat. It is stunning what they're doing defensively tonight as Manu starts to torture them.
He figures there's points in the offing, so I want to get amongst them, and Here he is being stopped eventually by Tuolungi and also Madden. That was graphic, that run by Daniel Tupou on a kick return. He's brought it back to the house. Now Tedesco fending, stepping. He's only 5 metres out. Talk about torturing the Tigers. Watching Tedesco do stuff like that. Walker for Keary. Here's Watson at the back. Hutchison on the outside of Dewey. Hutchison, he joins the hit parade. Filling in tonight for Momirovski. He's a utility player and he's filled in plenty of roles in 2022. And here he is tonight playing at left centre, mind you, and scoring out wide with a big fend on Adam Dewey.
Yeah, he's had a tough night defensively, Dewey. Look at the ball movement there to Zing from Walker to Keary, out there to Watson chiming in on the action. The big fend there from Hutchison. What a story it is, Drew Hutchison. He had such a treacherous run with lower leg injuries in the early parts of his career. And when the Roosters lost Mitch Orbison, you thought that Mr. Reliable, who they could count on so often, playing a number of positions, just how were they going to fill that? And in a season, in the last 18 months, to be fair, the injuries have rocked the Roosters, and every time they've called on Hutchison, whether it's been in the halves, whether it's been off the bench, dummy half, and now in the centres, he's doing a wonderful job, Drew Hutchison, and the Roosters absolutely flying. They have picked up where they left off in the first half. 30-0 at half-time if you've just joined us. Then they've run in 2 quick tries to start the second half, and the Tigers simply got no answers.
Trent Robinson probably thinks, well, I'm not sure what I'm going to say off the back of this, because this is like an opposed training session. Honestly, an opposed training session against the under-20 team midweek. Here is Walker from out wide, and has all the hallmarks of the touch-up the Tigers received up there on the Sunshine Coast last year when Melbourne put 60+ on them, and it was as one-sided a game as I've seen it in a long time in the NRL. Well, this is reaching those proportions very, very quickly.
Yeah, it's concerning, isn't it? Really concerning, and you're right. They're doing it in second gear, the Roosters. It's like a Wednesday night training run, and it's a good old-fashioned flogging here at the SCG as the Roosters steamroll their way up that ladder. They're for and against, climbing by the minute, 163 now in terms of their differential, and they are 2 points now behind the Parramatta side, who are sitting in 5th position and look destined to play finals.
Kick down to Suaalii. Matt Butcher brings it back. We saw those teams there with a positive for and against, the points differentials. I think it's going to hurt the Canberra Raiders should they end up tied at the bottom of the top 8, as Butcher has put it down here. Boy, this is a pattern that's repeated throughout the night. Well, that's what Trent Robinson will be talking about beyond full time tonight, is our lack of attention to detail. And of course, they challenge on a frivolous one where Egan Butcher put the ball down in the first half. Now, Nat, had he had the chance, he would be challenging that because that was knocked away. Yeah,
I was just about to say what a great night he's had, Nat Butcher, whether he's been out on the back row or he's been moved into the middle now, and Egan's been moved out into that back row position, his brother. Egan had 2 errors on play 1 in exactly the same fashion in the first half after points, and now Nat's come up with 1. So, not a happy night with their hands at different stages for the Butcher brothers.
Well, here's a red chance for the Tigers inside the Roosters 20. Didn't have 17 tackles inside the Roosters 20 in the first half, but boy, didn't offer a lot. Brown for Offahengawi, runs here to Radley. He comes back off, and Nuabole puts it down. There was nothing really in the offing there for the Tigers. Just a simple hit up for Offahengawi. Nobody in motion out the back. You thought there might have been a shot on the left-hand side or a switch back to the right-hand side. It was just a carry. And then Bolle was flat-footed, wasn't expecting the ball, and he puts it down as cold as you like.
Yeah, but he should have been, Warren. You know, he's only young and he's shown some great signs, and it was good work from Offahengawi to bump out of the tackle of Radley and look for an opportunity back against the grain on the other side of the ruck, and the pass was there to be taken from Bolle, and He's learning some lessons quickly at the top grade, but he looks like he's a good player. I think the Tigers have got a good one there. It was just an unfortunate moment for the young fella as Radley leaves the field, and he doesn't look happy about it either.
Well, we'll see if that's the first of, as we suggested, maybe a few changes with some of the stars in this second half. We'll wait and see exactly what Trent Robinson does. With Gildart on the bench, as we mentioned, and some versatility there in the back line to make some switches as well. Now Walker down this short side. Again against this retreating Tigers defensive line. The meters are massive for them. Terrell May is out there. His last appearance with Collins and Taukei'aho back next week. There's Manu. Finds Keary. Comes out the back to Desco. Keeps it going. Hutchison again. This time Dewey is around the legs and is able to drag him down. One more for the Roosters. 15 out. Keary to kick it across the field. Not his best one. Swali'i will fly though. Keeps it alive. Quick hands. Comes back to Nat Butcher. Weaving and looking for a hat trick. He got it down as well. Ben Cummins says that's good, and Nat Butcher has 3 at the SCG.
Well, the days of your old under-7s coach telling you to keep the ball in 2 hands. Just watch what it does here. It just does enough to hold off the Tigers' defensive line, and well, they've been passive all night, and this time they just hold off Nat. He came up with an error in the previous set. He was disappointed with that because he's had a ripping night, Nat Butcher. And again, it's Swali'i. Watch this for an athlete. Off the kick from Keary, rifled across field, and it's Swali'i just flying above the pack. What an athlete. Terrell May, who's just come into the action, did well, and yeah, just showing the ball, holding it out in 2 hands and fading to kick there. Nat Butcher just did enough to keep Naden interested in the ball, and he held off, played at it with his leg. The kick wasn't coming, and Butcher just lowered his body position, got in low, and gets his 3rd try of the night.
And his first hat-trick.
There you go.
Of his career, 6 tries now in his past 4 games, 46 points to nil. We've had just on 54 minutes of game time.
As I was talking my way through that replay, I just went, he's got a hat-trick.
Yeah.
He's got a hat-trick. What a night it has been for him.
5 between him and Angus Crichton.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a back rowers night here at the SCG. They're having a ball.
The edge defence on both sides of the field. Porous for the Tigers here this evening. And the Roosters made a habit of putting on some big score lines in this run of wins towards the back end of the season. Looking for 6 straight here tonight. Recently they put on 54 against the Dragons, 42 against the Knights, 34 against the Broncos, 32 last week against the Cowboys, and it's 48 so far here against the Tigers, Jake.
What a night for the Roosters. What a night for Nat Butcher. This is actually his best try-scoring season of his career. That was his 9th try of the year. Previous to that, his best try-scoring season was 3 tries in 2019. So he's got that just alone tonight. 3 tries, Nat Butcher. He is the quite hard-working, unassuming type of the Roosters forward pack. And Victor Radley is a guy he rooms with a lot. And Victor Radley says he's always into Nat to loosen up a little bit and have a bit more fun. But Nat's just happy to get his work done, but he gets a bit of a reward tonight.
Tigers are going to go short, which is interesting in itself, and they come up with possession. There you go. The short dropout, the short kickoff. I think we'll see a lot more of it. We certainly have seen a lot more short dropouts across the 16 teams in this 2022 season. The Tigers get a result here, and
when you're behind by 48, why should you try anything?
It's important to go short. We're down by 48, Mick. If it was 52, they probably wouldn't have gone short. But at 48, they figure it's worth a shot. Here's Madden at first receiver. Comes out the back. Dewey from Lauren. Runs it Walker, and another Tigers error here. And here comes Manu. Tedesco is there, pushing up in support. Manu ends up taking the tackle, but James Tedesco was right there on his hip. Just couldn't find him in time. But now they go to the left-hand side. May tucks it under his arm and takes it across the halfway line. Another ineffective set in attack for the Tigers. Back-to-back errors when they've been in the red zone. Keary on that left-hand side. Crichton with a pass. Backwards is the call. Staying alive. Keary gives it to Tupou, and there's the half century. The Roosters can raise their bat at the SCG. The points are flowing like rain at the moment. 52-0.
Yeah, but they're sending a warning shot here to the competition. Now, I know the Tigers aren't great, but it's what Keary's doing. This was the error. This was the error from Laurie, and Manu swooped. Tedesco was pushing on his inside. He just couldn't squeeze the ball to him. There was enough Tigers defenders around the footy, and there he is, Keary. Well, we said he's turning on a clinic. Crichton keeps the ball alive. He picks it up, slices and dices straight through the middle of the Tigers there. One-hand pass around the corner. He's been brilliant tonight, Keary. And he's warming towards September. He is charging his way into some great form, the little number 6. And Daniel Tupou, well, he likes playing the Tigers, doesn't he? 16 tries in 12 games. That takes him to 17 in 13 games, and they are far from done. We said they might have dropped it back a cog at half-time. Well, the only way they're going to drop it back a cog is if Trent Robinson starts to take off some of his big guns and hold them back for the next fortnight. But at the moment, it is 52-0 and all one-way traffic. The Tigers have got nothing.
It might require them to take players off, but not replace them with anybody.
I'm staying out of that one.
It's of those proportions. 52-0. We've got 23 minutes remaining.
And they're doing it at the moment without Radley. They're doing it out without Hargreaves and Lodge. They're doing it out with their whole starting front row rotation.
What a night Walker's having with the boot. He's had plenty from right in front. That one from further out, quite obviously. And, well, they're having some fun, aren't they? It's a laugher here at the SCG. He's getting squirted with water on his run back on his own side of halfway. Crichton's offload goes to ground, but Keary is there and says, catch me if you can. They couldn't. And he puts the giraffe in for yet another Roosters try.
Yeah, 4 try assists for the veteran playmaker Luke Keary. He's been stunning tonight. 21 try assists now for the season. It's just his 19th game, and he is, you know, as good as I've seen Luke Keary play for a long, long time. Like he's had some great moments, but tonight he looks as sharp as he ever has.
Roosters come up with the ball. Hits time off. Another short kick-off.
You said they wouldn't do it at 54-0.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did, baby. It's Watson. He'll play it here. The Roosters 5 on their own side of halfway with only 2 plays gone. The Tigers might be better off just going long for a period here and just trying to practice some defence, try and limit the metres of the Roosters the other end of the field. Don't give them a leg up here, and here they are again. Even Butcher pushing through. Stopped just outside the 30. There's a Tiger left on the ground. It's Sunday Sculpted as well. It's Alex Seyfarth clutching a shoulder. They've already got injury issues tonight. Garner off with a concussion, and Ken Mamala with a groin injury, and now Seyfarth has left them a man short for the moment in the defensive line. Walker here, grubbering, chasing through. It's still there, knocked on in goal by Dane Laurie. Seyfarth has all sorts of problems with this left shoulder.
Yeah, he's in some trouble, Alex Seyfarth. He came reeling out of the tackle and looked in real discomfort. Boy, you love that from Walker, don't you? This was the run from Butcher. Yeah, just going low and just getting his arm caught, outstretched and in an awkward position. He clutched straight at that left shoulder. He's in some trouble, Seyfarth. He's leaving the field. So further concerns for the West Tigers, not only the scoreboard and their defensive lapses, but injuries playing a real factor tonight. And Sam Walker showing great sportsmanship there, but geez, really starting to sharpen his attack as the night's getting really uncomfortable for that man, Brett Kimmorley. Luke Keary has left the field. So there we go. Trent Robinson starting to take some of the big guns out of the fire.
That is no surprise. Here's a contest, bit of volleyball off the short goal line dropout. The Tigers get another result. They've come up with possession. Zane Musgrove comes up with the ball, and they're all smiles, as you'd expect, on the Roosters bench. The Tigers bench, on the other hand, they're down to 14 now because they've lost Garner, now Seyfarth, and also Mamala with that groin problem, and we've still got a quarter plus of the game remaining here. So
it looks like from the commentary box here, it's only Austin Diaz. It's all that's left for the Tigers.
He's the lone survivor for the time being, apart from the 13 on the field. So they've got a bit of game time to get through here. There's a danger they may finish with the minimum or less. Let's hope that isn't the case. Laurie comes out here to Kapoa, comes towards Manu. We'll see how the Roosters attack lines up now with Keary back on the bench. His night is done. Laurie for Musgrove, charging hard, runs at Terrell May. Verrills was underneath. Now Brown fires it back for Adam Dewey. Has a big boot on him. Plenty of height on this one. Tupou was there. He makes the catch. Tedesco said, "It's all yours, Daniel." And he's able to come up with it, and then still fighting here and gets an offload away. Well, that's remarkable, but it sums up the night here between, well, the difference in class, in reality, between these two teams. That Tupou was wrapped up on a catch like that, got his arm free and linked up to send them on the attack.
Well, the only thing that can go wrong for the Roosters tonight is injuries. You know, in this remaining 20 minutes, and just looking at Nat Butcher, he's in some trouble in back play. Just came out of that tackle a little sore as Walk fires a pass across to Crichton.
Runs at Dewey, who's been monstered defensively tonight by several Roosters as Tupou hurdles him. It's the dummy half. Now May comes towards Musgrove and Tamo. Another offload on the cricket square. Comes to Tedesco. He finds Gildart, who is out there. Started the season, the Englishman, as a Tiger. Now he's a Rooster. He'll be a Tiger again in 2023. Tedesco, he was a Tiger. Long-time Rooster now. Keeps it going. Here they come. More points. They're in the queue. Crichton offloading. Back to Terrell May. He didn't know where to go. He was stuck in a phone box, so he gives it to Walker. Here's Manu stepping, terrorising Kapoa. Stays alive, and then Watson puts it down.
What about the balance of Joey Manu? He's just going right foot, right foot, another right foot, then ducks and weaves, loses his footing, and somehow gets his balance back. What a wonderful mover he is, Joey Manu. What a season he's had. Look at this. Gets the ball, gets it into one hand, bang, right foot, right foot, duck, weave, loses balance, and then gets the ball back on the inside. Watson just couldn't hang on to it.
If you'd said it'd be 54 points to nil with 18.5 minutes remaining, you'd have sworn that Manu would have been one of the try scorers, and Tedesco. It's been mostly the forwards tonight. So Nat Butcher, he's recovered from that knock a moment ago, back in the defensive line here as the Tigers work it away from their own end. Stafford To'a being dragged towards the sideline. He's in trouble, and Ben Cummins was happy. It was all in the one motion that he wasn't stopped at any stage there. He gets up, blowing up, as you would expect, but they kept him moving in the opinion of the referee.
Yeah, their edge defence tonight has been, it's been sensational. They really have got a lesson. I think when the Tigers go back and watch this, particularly some of the young men, they'll watch the complete different strategy in which they've defended tonight. The Roosters have been up as a line, they've been patient, and when the times come, they've been aggressive. Well, the Tigers have just been up, and then they just retreat and give metres up.
The Roosters, for the moment, lost touch with the clock. They weren't too far off keeping pace with it throughout this game. We've had 63 minutes of action. They lead 54 points to nil. We're going to try and get them back on the hunt.
Tedesco on that left-hand side wanted the ball.
Verrills comes to Watson here on this open side. Egan Butcher, one-on-one tackle there. Taken down by Tuilagi, shoved by Tamo. Set restart is the call. Terrell May will just work his way across the line and stop him within arm's reach of the uprights. From Verrills through Walker. Here's Hutchison now at the 5/8 position for Keary, and then a lovely ball from Gildart to Tupou. He has a second one, and the race to keep pace with the clock is well and truly back on. Tupou's in again. It's 58 points to nil.
Yeah, the Tigers really struggling to adjust their defensive line, and every time they are short, the Roosters just Get the ball on point. Look at the skill here. Out in front. Catch and pass. The skill level of the Roosters and their execution is marvellous. It really is. Hutchison's now moved into that ball-playing half position to link up with Walker. They're doing a great job. And down the left channel again. Nice and straight there from Walker. Hutchison gets the ball to Tedesco. Gildart did a good job. Tupou won't get an easier one. And that's his second of the night. A chance to go to 60 here, the Roosters. With 15.5 minutes to go.
Honestly, Mick, they're a chance of finishing at 80 to keep pace with the clock, which is incredible.
Well, they said back in the studio that it's the statement weekend, and it's certainly been one from the Roosters. There is just no mercy here. They are not letting up. It's been so professional. So professional.
Something worthwhile mentioning, of course, their all-time biggest win, 87-7, all the way back in, of course, 1935, when Dave Brown was scoring tries by the half dozen or so. Monotonous regularity. Don't know we'll get to 87 tonight, but 80 or thereabouts is not beyond the realms of possibility.
It's actually not, is it? He'll land this the way he's been hitting them.
I saw Melbourne put on 70 earlier this year against the Warriors on Anzac Day. What a kick from Sam Walker. Keeps his perfect record intact. He's converted them all. Radley, Lodge, Keary, sitting back, just having a chat while they watch Daniel Tupou grab a double here tonight. The first of them off some nice work from Luke Keary. He got the early break from Trent Robinson, and then Hutchison filling in at 5'8". Gildart catching and passing, sending Tupou in again for his second in the space of the last 6 or 7 minutes. And he's now at 18 for the season.
We're starting to get into record territory here, guys. If the Tigers fail to score in the remaining 15 minutes, this will be the Roosters' biggest win over the Tigers. The previous one was 56-0 back in 2004. If the Tigers' biggest loss is 64-0 to Melbourne back in 2001, as we see a Roosters knock on there. And the Roosters' biggest wins, 80 points, 62 points. So this is currently their third highest, or could be their third biggest winning margin.
Well, I've done this a number of times. Thanks for that, Jake. Just keeping us abreast of where we are historically here tonight. They've got first play situation off the back of points, and that's 4 by my count now.
Yeah, it's been a real concern for them tonight.
And the Tigers begin here. Now, the last couple of times they've had a chance inside the 20, they've coughed it up without getting through the set. So Laurie playing it. Nothing doing here. They've lost it again. They're 3 for 3 in that situation in the second half.
Yeah, he got there late for Manu Brown, and he loves going close to the line. And he just rushed that one, and the ball comes spewing out. Terrell May thought about the offload there, but the Roosters just gifted more possession here, and they're looking to punish them. Butcher Egan it is, carrying hard again through the middle.
Verrills from dummy half. Watson. Seeing that left-hand side. Crichton hangs on to it, though. Oliver Gildart's out there at left centre thinking, thank goodness I made a switch from the Tigers to the Roosters for the run towards the finals. What a great loan that's proven to be. Imagine if he's on the other end here, watching on. Here is Walker with a kick for Laurie, putting under pressure. He did well to make the catch. And the Tigers begin inside their own 20. The running metres in this game. The Roosters have run 1,550 metres and the Tigers just 628.
Incredible, isn't it? Yeah, it's
about 40% of what the Roosters have run for. Can't remember a lopsided number like that. Here's some metres for the Tigers. Dewey and Naden down the field. Dewey had Naden pushing up in support. Naden just overran things slightly, so Dewey will play it inside the Roosters 40. The Tigers on the board as far as a line break is concerned. Tamo standing. Swings it out the back. It comes back to Musgrove, who stopped here. 35 out from the Roosters line. The Tigers with 2 more plays. Madden at the line. Bouncing off Verrills, but not beating the tackle there of Egan Butcher. Here's the last. Let's do it. He'll put it up once again. Tupou coming in. Tedesco happy to watch the ringer make the catch. See if he can offload here as he did the last time around. No, they will wrap him up. And with 12 remaining, the Roosters begin here inside their own 10.
Yeah, some of the numbers tonight from the outside backs as we see Lodge come back on for the Roosters. He was tremendous in his opening stint. But Tedesco up, he's closing in on 200 metres. Manu's already got there, and Daniel Tupou having another tremendous night. A couple of tries, and he's over 150 metres with the ball. Tedesco down the short side.
Comes into the tackle there of Tom Freeban, who takes him to ground just outside the Roosters 40. Verrills jumps out from dummy half though. Hutchison tipping it on. The pass was forward. The one from Gildart to Tupou. Trying to tip it on. No doubt it was tipped forward towards the Tigers goal line. So they'll come again west here from the halfway line. But that left-hand side, the short raids in this second half have been so effective, especially with Keary out there. He's a specialist at plays like that. Tough one there for Gildart. A bit down too low the pass for him to try and flick it on to Tupou.
No, you're right. I'd have Keary and Mitch Moses the two best short side halves in the game, I think, at the moment. The way that they get down there with speed and how quickly they can expose a defensive line when they're short of numbers. He's had a great night, Keary. 4 try assists and a well-deserved early mark. That time it was Gildart that just didn't have the skill to be able to execute that final catch and pass.
As Tuolungi plays it here just outside the Roosters 30, Musgrove. Minimal gain there of 5 or 6 perhaps, as Brown from dummy half comes across to Dewey, who's had a night that he would rather forget.
Yeah, it's been a tough night for him, there's no doubt about it. He did come up with their only line break in the previous set, but that time just thinking too far ahead, just lost concentration. And it has been a tough old night. He's had Angus Crichton up in his face with and without the ball. And Brett Kamali. Tough old night for Noddy.
Season end can't come soon enough for the Tigers. They've got the Dragons next week when they finish at home at Leichhardt. It could be a massive game against the Canberra Raiders. Pushing for a spot themselves. They're in action tomorrow against the Newcastle Knights, a game they're expected to win given how the Knights have been performing in 2022. And that game at Leichhardt could be for a spot potentially in the finals for the Raiders, depending on what happens with the Roosters, the Broncos, and also South Sydney. They aren't out of the woods themselves just yet. Lodge playing it here. Egan Butcher takes it towards the 20. Well, the point scoring has hit pause for a moment. We've gone 5 or 6 since the Roosters scored. Here's a chance. Hutchison goes straight through them. Can he spin his way in? No, he can't. They just about resumed normal transmission. They'll play it. Going over the top. Manu finds Tupou. That was an audacious pass. It was knocked on by the Tigers. Dewey thought he was off and running, but he got a touch on it. But the ball there from dummy half and Tupou.
Yeah, he had Tupou possibly have been. No. It was a tough one. I thought he may have been a little flat-footed, but no, it was Manu just wanting to get it out to Daniel Tupou, who he obviously trusts. He knows what a great finisher he is and has been for such a long time. He's picked up 2 already tonight, looking for a hat-trick, but that one was a little opportunistic, that one from Joey Manu, but they're all stacked here to this right-hand side, the Chooks. Look at them.
Gildart with the scrum feed. Here's Walker to Desco. Grabbed here, an intercept. Brent Naden streaking away. Coming in chase. They won't get there to wrap him up. And Naden will run the best part of 75 metres and put the Tigers on the board here tonight. They got there. 73 minutes or thereabouts gone. And Naden comes up with an intercept. And yes, those Tigers fans are celebrating.
Yeah, it was a almost perfectly executed scrum move from the Roosters. Deep into the line it was. Walker, he found Tedesco, who just tried the the bat on, and Brent Naden just stuck the hand out and raced away. He's got great speed, Naden. And this angle will show it. He just plunges that left hand out, able to regather, and off he goes. Gildart gave good chase, but he showed great speed, Naden, to go all the way. And the Tigers finally on the board.
The Roosters put on 60 straight points. The Tigers through the intercept. Naden runs away to make it 60 points to 4. Began the season, of course, with the Bulldogs, made the mid-season switch to the Tigers, and they've been impressed with what he's shown since coming across to the Concord-based outfit. They signed him until the end of 2025. 26-year-old now, 52 games under his belt. He was a Panther before moving to the Bulldogs, and now Adam Doueihi, who's had a forgettable night from right in front, will add 2 more. Makes it 60 points to 6, and we've got 6 remaining in the game here tonight, Jake Duke.
Yeah, Brent Naden gets his 5th try in the last 5 games, and it's an important one for the Tigers just to get rid of that 0 on the scoreboard and give them something to be happy about it towards the end of this game with still 6 minutes to go. A tough night for the club. Be interesting to hear what Brett Kimmorley has to say in the press conference after this. We'll bring you that on Fox League, but don't forget tomorrow a big Sunday ticket starting with the Dragons versus the Titans. Then we will head up to Newcastle for the Knights taking on the Raiders. The Raiders obviously need to keep winning to stay in finals contention, and then we finish off with the NRLW Knights up against the Broncos as well.
Looking forward to all of that tomorrow on the Sunday ticket as the Tigers work it away this weekend. It's just the 4th time that 5 teams have scored 40 points or more in a single round.
Yeah. 5
teams scoring 40 points or more in the one round. It's been that sort of Saturday. It's been slaughterhouse Saturday in every sense. Here's Doueihi bringing it back towards the Tigers 40. Next week, the Melbourne Storm will take on the Roosters. What a blockbuster that is. The Melbourne Storm, they put on 60 against the Broncos.
Yeah.
Here the Roosters, they put on 60 against the Tigers. I don't know that's ever happened before, that 2 teams that put on 60 the week before have met in the next round. Now a big game coming your way in round 24 on Fox League as the race to the finals continues. And your home of the NRL, Tedesco here, going a long way, still going. He's got Manu on his outside, who cuts back to the middle. He beat Madden, but Laurie comes up to wrap him up with some help. And they're back at the halfway line. Looking for their 11th try of the night. Lodge will play it here at the 40. Verrills. He goes to Walker. Crichton on the outside there of Doueihi again. Around the legs. Crichton just standing there. Offloads easily. Now May back through the middle. Was able to beat Bollaert and then eventually wrapped up by Tamo. Numbers on this right-hand side. Lodge is there. Walker kicking a chance for Butcher. He's got 4. What a night for Nat Butcher. From the southeastern suburbs of Sydney, at the famous Sydney Cricket Ground, no less. He comes up with 4 tries.
Yeah, what a night for Nat Butcher. And again, it's the little beautiful touch off the inside of the right boot from Sammy Walker, who's had a tremendous night. And it's Lodge's ball playing through the middle. That did enough to bring up the defensive line and then just putting it inch perfect. The weight was beautiful from Sam Walker. It sat up on its point again. The bounce couldn't have been any more kinder for Nat Butcher. And Dane Laurie just marginally out of position, and that was enough for Nat Butcher to get there right on time and gets his 4th try of the night. What a night it's been for the Roosters back rowers.
2nd try off a kick. Began the scoring back in the 7th minute of the contest when he was on the end of a lovely grubber. That one from Walker, and then again tonight he comes up with a 2nd one. 4 in total. And from right in front, Sam Walker will make it 66 to 6. It's the number of the beast.
Yeah, it has been a really good performance from the Roosters halves tonight. Now, Keary left the field because he was flying, and Trent Robinson just wanted to preserve him for what's coming in the weeks ahead. And as soon as he's left the field, even though Walker had some beautiful touches when Keary was on the field, he's really stepped up. Without Radley, without Keary, those really important ball players through the middle for the Roosters, he stepped up the young half. He's been outstanding, and you see there the live ladder well established into 6th position there now with that for and against.
Well, they came in with plus 121 as their for and against. They're plus 181 now, and that could be crucial.
The boys on the bench,
spots in that bottom half of the top 8.
Look at them having a great time. Look at it. Big Jared loving life. It is party time here. Oh no.
Oh boy, they haven't had the most successful night off the back of scoring tries.
They haven't.
They've put it down a number of times, and a wrinkle here. They found another way to give it back to the Tigers by not cleaning up the kick. The restart from Adam Dewey, so it'll be a goal line dropout. We'll see if they go short. Be worth a bit of practice, you would imagine, for a bit of an eye down the track to a big game, and they come no bigger next week, as we mentioned. Melbourne Storm down there at Amy Park. That'll be a beauty. They do go short. Walker lofts one. Does it go the 10? It bounces off a point. No, that does need some practice.
Yeah, Daniel Tupou had crept himself infield. He's already got one back tonight, and he was the target. He just didn't get it right. Fractionally short there, Sam Walker, and the final set now for the Tigers.
And the Roosters with their 2nd biggest score ever, behind the 87 points they put on the Bulldogs back in 1935. Here is Tamo. So it's rarefied air here in the final game at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Oh boy, now Tamo reacts to putting it down, throws the ball at Terrell May, and to compound the situation, gives away a penalty.
No, just wait. No, it's back chat, mate. That's it.
Challenge the back chat?
No, off we go. Hold
Come
on.
on, challenge the back chat. Oh, the frustration is at boiling point for the Tigers. He was twisted and turned, and yeah, he's frustrated, the captain. Look at him.
And the Tigers are 6 from 12.
Well, a chance to find 70, Warren.
In this second half, their completion rate has done them no favours. Their defence, I mean, everything. They've just been beaten in every facet of the game comprehensively tonight. Looking for 70. This is the biggest scoreline ever at the SCG.
He's been good tonight, Verrills. He's been really sharp out of dummy half.
Oh, boy. There you go. I mean, that's the commentator's curse if you've ever seen us. Play on is the call. You give him the massive rap, and he almost knocks it on cold from dummy half. That might be the best curse ever.
Oh, he's gone.
Go.
Tamo.
Go. You're off.
Oh, boy, he's now just off. That's just off. It was 10, now it's just off. There's only 50 seconds remaining.
Keep going. Keep going.
James Tamo has reached the end of his rag and has gone out in style. Sent off. Initially sin-binned, now sent off for some rather fruity descent in the direction of the referee. Didn't see that one coming at the end of 66-6. Well, the Roosters will have one more chance here to match the 70 that Melbourne put on earlier in the year against the Warriors. Egan Butcher will celebrate the family with a try here. Natty's brother has 4. Egan going close there. Verrills for Lodge, who grabbed one only a short couple of weeks ago. He's got another one. Matt Lodge scores. It's 70 for the Roosters. It is a cricket score.
Coming up to tackle 3. No try.
Oh,
Just check for a double movement, even if he loses
no
that ball.
try is the call.
Yeah,
Looked like he might have been able to keep that arm off the ground initially.
yes. Yeah, did he put it on the arm or the leg of the Tigers player first?
Yeah, that's fine, mate.
At this point, Matt
Oh, he
Lodge's
keeps it
arm
up.
stays up the whole time.
Yeah, that's a
Just need to
try.
make sure that it gets to the line
Oh, it's on the
with
line.
him still in possession.
It's on the line.
Get A side-on angle there, hits
All day.
the line. He's got
With
control
the arm
of the
in the air the
ball.
whole time, Matt Lodge puts the ball on the line. We have a decision.
And having scored just last week against the Cowboys, he's gone back-to-back. Matt Lodge is a try-scoring machine, and the Roosters have cracked the 70-point mark. 70. What a way to send out the SCG. And with a kick to come, it should finish at 72-6.
Yeah, he's been good, Verrills. And again, just playing short, just testing that middle third, which has been, it's been ordinary all season, the Tigers' defensive line through the middle. And they've gone there, the Roosters, a number of times tonight, and he's been pivotal. Young Verrills out of dummy half, he's been excellent as Walker puts the final dagger in the heart of the Tigers.
Fifth highest score by any team in the history of the NRL. And it happens right here tonight at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Keary was masterful in putting the Tigers to the sword, and they've put on 12 converted tries at full time at the Sydney Cricket Ground for one last time. They've beaten the Tigers 72-6.